All right, this is the market report for Southeast Michigan, which is Wayne, Oakland, Macomb, Livingston, and St. Clair counties for third quarter of 2018. So we've really enjoyed, really for the last 8 years, a recovery of wonderful numbers for the housing market. Values have been up. We're back to pre-recession levels, and actually many markets above pre-recession levels. Number of transactions have been amazingly strong. So in all, we've had a really good ride, but the reality is the market is changing direction. We've been seeing it developing all year, and we're seeing it now really sort of take hold as we come into the fall market. And what we're seeing is a combination of a couple of things. Interest rates are up and values are up, so that makes affordability down. If it costs more to own a home because the interest rates are higher and because values are more, and that's going to take a little momentum out of the market. In fact, we saw this in 2017 to 18 this year. We saw it in 2015 to 16 and then 14 to 13. In each case, interest rates went up somewhere between 3/4 to a percentage point, and values and demand settled. And if you do the math is pretty simple. It's for every 1% rise in interest rates is a 10% decline in demand. We haven't seen that. In those other declines, it was more in the 3 to 4% range, and this year it's maybe 5 to 6% range. The reason is because other good things are happening. The economy is still strong, jobs are still being created, and incomes are starting to rise a little bit. But what we're seeing now is that the number of jobs being created is slowing because the economy is pretty much near full employment. So we're not getting that boost of home ownership to people getting additional jobs. Really, our key to fuel going forward with home values is going to be household income increase. And that's been going very slowly. So that expectation of that will certainly solve the issue of values going up and interest rates going up and take some of that sting out. But we can anticipate, at least for the next quarter and maybe through next year, a little slower market because we're a little bit out of balance. Values and costs of owning a home are rising faster than incomes are to cover that. So in general, what we'll see is for sellers, particularly, you're going to see settling in the market. This time of year, the market settles a little bit anyways in terms of activity. You're going to see that a little more this year. Sales year over year have settled throughout the year in all price ranges. So you're going to see a little bit of that going to this year. So expect, depending on the price range, the lower price range is probably fewer multiple offers, but still a strong market. In the middle price range, you'll expect more of a balanced market. In the upper price range, you'll expect probably fewer showings, in all cases, fewer showings than you saw this time last year. In general, it's a strong market for sellers, but we're shifting more to a balanced market. In the upper end, we're sliding more towards a buyer's market in many instances. What you're seeing in the upper end often is the difference between, and really it's across all price ranges, but we're seeing it more in the upper end. We're seeing the difference between move-in ready, which is a home that's been updated for kitchens and baths, and maybe the exterior landscaping's been updated, but it's an updated home that's going to attract more attention. And people are paying a premium for that. So in the upper end, you're seeing values rise in that type of home, whereas homes that are maybe a little dated or haven't had those updates done, you're seeing those homes sit in the market a lot longer and actually decline in value. Now, in the lower price ranges, there's not a lot of home choices, so that difference isn't as stark in the lower prices. But as you get to a higher price range, you're seeing more and more of that. So as a seller, you need to understand where you are in the marketplace, understand the number of homes you're competing with, and that's where your realtor comes in to help walk you through the process. You know exactly where you are. On the buying side, for the same reason, we're going into market with more to choose from. So if you've been a buyer sitting on the fence because there just hasn't been much to choose from, now's the time to look in the marketplace and see there'll be some additional homes coming on the market. The number of new homes entering the market is rising, so you may find opportunities there. Also, for homes that have been on the market 60 days or more, 90 days or more, look at those homes. You may have walked by them before because you're chasing those new homes in the market with the updates. But with the market slowing a little bit, you might find sellers more receptive in terms or price or condition. So don't forget those properties. This is a good time to be looking for a home right now. It's also a good time to be selling in terms of there's still a shortage of homes in most price ranges, particularly under $500,000. So you get good activity this time of year. So overall, a changing market in direction, settling market. We'll see that if that continues into next year. Probably we're anticipating it will until home values or home incomes rise to meet the increase in home values. But overall, we're having a good real estate year, just slowing, so you have to adjust your expectations to a new direction in the market. For Southeast Michigan, we talk about the market in terms of strata, in terms of the under 250, the lower end market, middle and upper end market, because they move in different speeds. They move in the same general direction, but in different speeds. So in the under 250 market, we're still seeing inventories tight. Although the number of new listings coming in the market has been rising, inventories are still less than they were last year. Number of sales have declined from last year to this year as well. That's a combination of a reduced demand somewhat because interest rates are up, so buyers are being more cautious, and there just aren't as many homes to buy, and that in itself will cause sales to be reduced. You're getting, on average, about 4 listings for every 1 buyer. So remember that ratio as we go through the different price ranges. So you get into the middle market, the 250 to 500. We're seeing inventories are starting to rise there. Sales are about flat, and values are, although up just slightly, but slightly going to flat. And what that means is that with additional available inventory, it's attracting some buyers. So buyers are coming out of the woodwork, which is good. They've been sitting on the fence. But values also are not rising as fast because there's more to choose from. There's more competition. Give you an example there. There's about 6 listings in that price range for every buyer. So you've got 4 listings for every buyer on the lower price, 6 for the middle. And you go to the upper end, the $500,000 and above, there we're getting about 12 listings for every buyer. So you can see the ratio and activity you can expect in each of those markets. In that price range, the number of listings available are going up. Now, interestingly enough, the number of sales actually went up as well in that upper price range. But that's, again, because I think there's more inventory coming to the market. But those sales were concentrated in those move-in ready, updated homes. Those that didn't match that category have been sitting on the market quite a bit longer. Now, if you look for Southeast Michigan for the $1 million, the luxury properties, there are 20 listings for every sale in that market range. So you can see the value. Again, as the price goes up, the number of buyers to listing inventory changes, so you can understand the velocity of the market. And depending on the price range of your home, you need to understand and talk to your realtor about where they are and what the price point should be and how you should market your home in terms of condition, price, and terms.